Is it on?
Well, the switch is on. Is that the microphone system?
Yeah, I think so. Is it on?
It's the fire system.
I'll give it a minute. Leave it on, let it warm up. Uh-oh.
There you go.
Oh, here we go. It warmed up. Okay, for you folks that are here for this first hearing, we're missing, we have one member that's sick and one member on vacation. One other member was supposed to be here. We need a quorum of 5 for a majority to open a public hearing. I do not have that 5. The other member had been contacted earlier, thought she was going to be here. There's nothing I can do about it. That's what the law says. If the other person shows up, then I'll be able to open that hearing. I can go on to, I have to open up my regular meeting, which I can do. At 7 o'clock, I'll go into my public, we have a 6:45, which is also a continued public hearing. That also requires 5 members, which I don't have. So the next hearing that I have is a public information meeting, which is for Foster Healy, and that's scheduled for 7 o'clock. I'm sorry, I thought we had a quorum for tonight. Yes, ma'am.
Can you just tell us who's not here that's supposed to be here?
Carol Victorioso.
She's the only member of the planning board that's not here.
No, the others we know. One is sick and the other one has an excuse, is on business.
Name them.
I don't need that.
Name them.
If we open up our regular meeting until...
I'll call my regular meeting to order.
Take attendance.
Call to order. The attendance, please.
Okay, call to order. Sal Ciccone,
Here.
Armand Millette, Mary Olivier,
Here.
John Souza,
Here.
Cara Vittorioso, Dave DiGiovanni, Nancy Doig.
Minutes of previous meetings.
Accept the minutes.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to accept the previous meetings with the changes that were noted.
Yep. For the May 4th.
Right. But that was all part of that same package.
Yeah.
Do we have anything else? Any other comments? Nope. Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Do I have any plans submitted?
No, no plan submitted.
Old business. 4.1, Manchester Street Builders, site plan to build 8-unit building and a 2-unit building on 3 lots to create a 10-unit condo association on Manchester Street.
John, that's going to have to be tabled until the public informational hearing, so I move to table.
Motion made and seconded to move the table until the public information is completed.
That's scheduled for
At
7:30
7,
p.m. tonight.
That's just table until later on. All in favor of table till later on the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed and say no. Motion carries.
Can do 4.2, same thing.
No, I can't do point 2 because that's...
No.
No, it's public hearing. You have to move it.
Okay, a motion for communications at 6.0 to take that.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to go to 6.0 communications. I have City Council petition number 127-04, Raymond T. Kelly, grant a special permit to place a trailer next to the fire-damaged dwelling at 1024 Main Street to be used for shelter during reconstruction. Temporary permit has been issued from the building department.
Their plan?
This is a special permit. This requires a hearing.
Yes.
Okay, we'll schedule for our next meeting.
With Andy, when's the next one?
Okay.
Andy, check the schedule, please.
Yep, next meeting is going to be June the 15th, and we have 6:45 open.
Okay, move for a public hearing on 6:15 at 6:45.
Motion made and seconded for a public hearing at June 15th at 6:45. Any further discussion? Here none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. City Council petition 129-04 Tanco Corporation. Daniel Latanzio for Liberty Supply Incorporated. Grant a special permit to construct a 12 by 50 silo pad to the rear of an existing building at 195 Hamilton Street, as shown on Assessors Map 229, Lot 3, located in the floodplain district. This also requires a special permit hearing.
Okay, we can go June 15th at 7.
So move.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for June 15th at 7 o'clock. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. 6.3, City Council Petition 135-04. Dennis A. Rosa. Amend Article 2, Section 22-24, Industrial District, subsection 24.2.5.1 of the revised zoning ordinances by authorizing the Leominster City Council to be the sole special permitting authority for any mixed-use development project. This will require a special hearing.
That's,
Advertising?
This requires advertising.
yep.
So we have to go out a month.
Yep, we'll go out to the July 13th meeting. We can do it at 6:30.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for July 13th at 6:30. On the communications, 6.4, LATV, Carl P. Marini.
I don't think I was here. He was.
We have the letter from him.
Did you get a letter as well?
Yeah, just read it.
Okay. Letter was forwarded to the chairman of the planning board. Want me to read the whole thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Please see the proposal below for the Leominster Access Television, LATV, coverage of the City of Leominster Planning Board meetings to be broadcast on Leominster Government Television, TV 10. Leominster Access Television is in the process of securing a funding grant from the Leominster Land Trust to cover the costs of videotaping and later broadcasting the City of Leominster Planning Board meetings on Leominster Government Television. The Leominster Government Channel 10, these public meetings would be videotaped with one camera from the rear of the public seating area in a very unobtrusive manner. These videotapes would then be scheduled and broadcast unedited later in the week and shown on a regular rotating schedule until the next scheduled planning board meeting. Since the grant funding has not been secured at this point, a proposed starting date has not been established. We can notify you when we are ready to proceed. Please let me know if you have any questions regarding this proposal. Sincerely, Carl Primarini, Executive Director, Leominster Access Television.
Motion to file.
So move.
Motion made. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. James Jacobs Whitford Company for BJ Wholesale Club, modification to site plan. They were told to be here a little later, so I'm... Oh, you have somebody, okay. Thank you. We get their plans?
Let's take a look.
Hi, good evening. My name's Amy Howard. I'm from BJ's Wholesale Club, Inc. My engineer's not here yet, but I figure if you have any questions, hopefully I can answer them.
Okay, I realize that we're running a little early on this one, because you had called earlier, and we said this would probably be 7:30
Right.
or 8 o'clock, so not knowing that this was going to happen this evening, you accept my apologies, please.
That's okay.
Can you explain to what the changes are?
Sure. We originally got approved back in December for an expansion. The dimension sizes were, it's a 31-foot by 71-foot expansion. All we've done is actually decrease the size of the expansion. It's now decreased to a 29-foot by 69-foot. That is the only change.
Okay. And none of the detention or any other?
No, nothing
It's strictly
else.
the size of that addition?
Correct.
Okay. Did that affect any of the other parking or the flow?
No,
It doesn't look like it, but...
No, nothing else changed. I mean, it just decreased so it fits better in the space. Nothing else, part of the application has changed at all.
Okay.
Do we consider this a minor modification and approve the revision?
Second.
Motion made and seconded that this be considered a minor modification and that it should be accepted. Is there any discussion?
Smaller. As long as the notations stay for all the other conditions of approval?
All the other conditions should stay. They're all listed here.
Okay. With that, okay.
Okay?
Yep.
That being the only discussion. With that discussion, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Thank you
You can
very
go home
much.
early tonight.
Yeah.
That's smaller. It's going good.
The next one is 6.6, William Bolak, bond release on Cleveland Street. There's a couple of our members did in fact take a look at that. Mr. Chacon? E?
I did take a look at it. The pavement was completed to the length and the width. The only issue I have is that I have not yet heard back, or we have not yet heard back from the city engineer.
Mhm.
So, I mean, there's a few places that still could be fixed. Because I
Okay.
was out there today and there's some pooling of water, things like that. There's a little speed bump at the end of it, so I think there's a few things left to do. We could accept it. I don't know if anybody else has gone out, but we could.
However, we should wait for DPW.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, we could table it, or we
Or we
could,
could do it with
we could recommend approval with conditional approval from the DPW.
could do it that way.
Would you, or do you want to wait the 2 weeks?
No, I can accept that. So, revise the motion to release the bond, subject to the
Department of Public Works approval.
Can we add a notation on there, the work done around the water main plug looked a little weak in the entranceway
Okay,
that meets
let's
the road, so.
And
make a notation of that for the DPW to review that.
And the entrance into Cleveland.
That's what I'm saying, the entrance end.
Okay. Motion made and, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded to recommend release of the bond, subject to approval by the DPW, with further notes on the entrance to Cleveland Street and the hump there, that drainage.
Water drain, yeah.
The water drainage, and what was the second one, Alan?
It's the entrance to Cleveland Circle. Water drain.
Oh, that was
That's
it.
primarily it,
Yeah,
okay.
that was it. I mean,
They did the width of the.
they made a gutter there so that the water wouldn't drain from the main road into Cleveland. And
Okay.
it's a small bump, but it makes you slow down.
Okay, I have a
I just want to
motion.
make sure it doesn't get that drain that's sitting right there to the water main outlet, sitting right there.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Both say no. Motion carries. I have a Sal Chacon request here. Sal Chaconi,
I'm going to table this to the next meeting.
okay. Mr. Chaconi's request is tabled to the next meeting. Director's report, 7.1, corrections to the May 4, 2004 minutes. Items 4.2, 4.21, and 7.6. You should have gotten all of those corrections in your package. You got a chance to look at those?
Yeah.
Any discussion? Any problems?
Is that what we already voted on?
Yeah.
Well, actually, we should vote on this separately, because those were separate items on those separate minutes.
Okay, I move to accept the
The corrections to the May
corrections to the
4th.
minutes.
Second.
May 4th minutes.
Motion made and seconded for the corrections to the May 4th minutes. Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Now 7 o'clock. As the maker of the motion, he doesn't need a second. Okay. Okay, yeah. He's the maker.
She knows.
Continue public hearing for Richard, the 6:45 hearing, which was a continued public hearing for Richard Marchand. That will also have to be delayed because I don't have a quorum. 7 o'clock. Public information meeting for Richard Healy, Foster Healy Real Estate, 300 Main Street, Fitchburg, site plan for new construction on 50 Central Street, Leominster. This is public information. I can't open this hearing. Do I have anyone from Foster Healy or representing their company?
Good evening. I'm Pat Slattery, Patrick J. Slattery, architect. We were prepared to make a presentation. I can leave drawings.
John, I can't hear.
Oh, you please use the mic, sir. Right there.
I'll start again. Good evening. I'm Pat Slattery, Patrick J. Slattery, architect from Lunenburg.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the architect for the new proposed building for Foster Healy. And we had expected to make a presentation tonight, although I don't see the engineer here. We did meet with the Development Review Board earlier today. And I do have a drawing that I can leave with you if this is going to be continued.
Well, I do have a drawing, and the hearing is now, it is 7 o'clock, and we're supposed to be having the hearing at this time.
Okay.
So that's why
I expected Mr. Hannigan to be here, and I expected him to make the presentation.
okay?
I can walk you through it if you like.
I think we're at this point,
You can walk us through it, or we could continue, whatever you would prefer.
I'm at a loss. I don't know.
Pretty straightforward. He probably figured it'd be a couple hours before he would be on, so.
No, we had planned to be here at 7 in anticipation of that.
okay. I can't, the hearing is open, whether their representative is here or not, is I have to move forward,
Fine.
okay?
Let me get my drawing.
Okay.
John, do you just have one drawing there on that?
I've got a drawing here. You should have gotten in your packet, some small ones on the back. I got one large drawing here. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. What is being proposed?
Sir, there is an easel there too if you want to use it for the crowd.
What is being proposed is a building 40 feet by 70 feet along Central Street, adjacent to the Joseph's Jewelers and adjacent building on their property. This was formerly, I believe, a furniture store, and the little kitchen, I think, was originally on this parcel of property. And what we're proposing is a 40 by 70 one-story building, although higher than a typical one-story building, again to develop and blend with the cityscape, the line of the buildings along Central Street. It'll be the main office for Foster Healy Real Estate, which is presently on the corner of Merriam Ave and Vine Street, I believe. They'll be relocating their facilities to this location. Building is planned to be a brick facade, New England materials, brick, traditional design. And as I say, we met earlier today with the Development Review Board, went through their questions, and would be glad to answer any questions the board has.
Okay, thank you. And have you done any kind of a traffic study on that intersection?
I'd have to defer to Bill Hannigan on that. That wasn't questioned today.
The Development Review Board is only a review board. The Planning Board asks those kinds of questions.
I can understand that, yes.
Okay.
Not to my knowledge.
Not to your knowledge, okay.
Some of my original thoughts, I wish Bill was here too. We've just kind of noticed a revitalization in that end of the city. And I think another building there like this is going to be beautiful. My question is, does it have to be up against the sidewalk? Because you have a bad corner there to begin with. And what they did with the old Domino's and the variety store, they made it into a new Domino's. You got rid of that short wall, you'd have a great line of sight if you pushed the building back a little. I mean, one of the things I'm looking at saying is it's right up to the sidewalk. It's right on the sidewalk. There's got to be a way to configure this building to push it back so that we can keep that clear line of sight. And I think if we do a traffic analysis, it's gonna really show some of the impact on that. It's bad enough as it is. So that's one of my questions to the engineer if the engineer doesn't show up.
Right.
I have some concerns with that because we've just seen such a little bit of a rebirth there.
I just got a message that the engineer's on his way and he'll be here in 2 minutes.
Oh, good. Excellent. With respect to your question, it was pointed out at the Development Review Board today that that portion of wall is coming down. So that will be out of the way.
But then it's right to the building.
Right. In an effort to provide adequate parking behind the building, Bill, and I'll let him address that, felt that for two reasons. One, to get the adequate parking behind the building, and also there was a feeling that in terms of the sidewalkscape, if you would, the cityscape, that in fact the new Enterprise Bank, for example, is right out on on the sidewalk, and other buildings along Main Street and Central Street are.
I understand that, but I also take a look, that's the wide part of Main Street. That's where, really, that's the center of the hub, whereas this is that corner from 117. I mean, that's the difference to me. I mean, there, yes, you know, it fits.
Yeah.
It's beautiful because
Right.
it all runs the same lines. But if we're taking a corner and we create a new line and all of a sudden we push a line out, kind of takes away from the whole cityscape look. If that's what you're going for, a cityscape look, which is what we're going for down on Route 12, kind of takes away from all of that. And I'm just wondering what the alternatives to the parking could be. Because I think there could be some, and this thing could be beautiful. And it could blend in very nicely there.
Again, I'll pass that question to Bill when he gets here. We've been joined by Rick Healy from Foster Healy, the owner of the property and the building. And other specific questions could be directed to him.
You may come forward, Mr. Healy, and here he is. That's all right.
I read your agenda and I stopped at the lights back there. I apologize.
That's all right. I think there's been a couple of questions and concerns about traffic analysis, because that is a very busy intersection there, and where your driveway is coming right out at the intersection. There is a concern. There's also concern where the line of buildings with the Domino's is sort of set back, and I understand that wall can come out, and then your building would be forward, the second building is set back, and so your building sort of doesn't follow the line of sight, you might say. And that was part of the first concerns that were brought up. And I'm sure when Mr. Hannigan gets here, he will address some of that, as also address where you can get your parking.
Sure, if I could say a couple of things. One,
Sure.
I apologize.
Please use the mic, yes.
Okay. I doubt very much that my traffic will be more than a Domino's traffic. My business is different than, it's a real estate business. It's not that I'm going to have people in, I don't have 20 to 25 employees coming in at 9 o'clock and leaving at 5 o'clock. I have people coming and going at all points during the day. So it's not that I have a lot of traffic, a lot of coming and going traffic. So I think with the Domino's right next to me, coming actually right out into the intersection, I think might be substantially less impact than that. As far as the cityscape, looking down as you're coming down Route 117, looking down at the city, if you have a sawtooth going back and forth all the way down, I really don't think that's, from my viewpoint, I don't see that as making the right sight line coming into the city.
I disagree totally. Totally. I mean, there's no zigzag there. It's a nice defined curved line. And if we're supposed to do proper planning, and we ever had to address any issues at that intersection because of increased traffic from whatever reason within the city, then we might have to widen that intersection or change that intersection entirely. The 117 coming out. I mean, there's a lot of traffic that congests there all day long.
Under normal circumstances, wouldn't it make sense
To block it off?
No, to come in perpendicular to, having 117 come in perpendicular to Route 12?
That's why we're asking for the traffic information. But I'm saying from a line of sight perspective, no way. You know, line of sight, it's just such a smooth corner. I mean, it's really been made a smooth corner when you think about it till it gets to the middle, and then it's wider. It's a lot wider in the middle where everything's up to the sidewalk, where everything abuts the sidewalk. So it's not on that side of the street that there's these jagged buildings, you know, dipping in and out. There's really kind of a straight line that started with the renovation near Dunkin' Donuts, and now there's another straight line that's formed, you know, with the lot after your lot, with all the demolition that took place in there, and everything that rambles down to the Enterprise Bank, where it is wider, where the businesses are up against the sidewalk.
To get the parking, I'm sure.
I'm just, you know, I'm looking, are there alternate ways to get the parking to push the building back? And does it make sense for the intersection to be right where it is? Which are questions we have.
Yeah, I realize that your traffic, you don't have a lot of traffic.
We know it.
Yeah, we realize that, but it's right where it exits. It's right where people are stopping and making that turn. So I didn't know, I mean, I don't profess to be an engineer. I'm just saying we try to look at possible conflicts and to work those conflicts. So, you know, I'm not sure whether the building could be moved sideways closer to, and then have the parking lot coming out between yours and the next building, that's Sun City. I'm not sure if that would reverse things. I'm not sure if that's even doable. I'm just throwing
The
things
way
out.
we've looked at it is, it is not doable, and the way we've looked at it, it doesn't fit the way we'd like to have the presence. We want to be downtown Leominster like everybody else does. We want to have a presence there. We want to be, and if we are moved up to the other end, we don't believe that that accomplishes what we're trying to accomplish. And if you come out further down, the building is going to block the traffic as you're coming out beside the building. And as a car, if you're stopping at the intersection of Route 117 and Route 12, and then you look, and then you start up coming down the street, you're going to just be getting up to speed when a car is coming out, as opposed to being stopped and just starting where the traffic will be coming out right next to Domino's.
Okay. Do you have, when Mr. Hannigan shows, I'll let, he can make some further comments. At this point, unless you have something else, I'd like to open it up to the audience and let them make comments, and then I'll make sure that I leave time for Mr. Hannigan to answer questions after.
Thank you. He's right here.
Oh, he's here.
Yeah.
Thank you, Glenn. Thank you.
I thought you'd be too late.
Bill, could you please use the microphone? Mr. Hannigan, you please use the microphone?
I apologize for my tardiness. I guess I was expecting the other hearing to last a little longer.
We've had a quorum problem this evening.
Yes, that's what I understand. Just for the record, my name is Bill Hannigan with Hannigan Engineering, and I'm not sure exactly to what extent Pat and Rick have gotten into the project. This is the latest version of the site plan that has been submitted to the planning board. It shows the single-story office building versus a two-story office building. The parking requirements for this square footage would be 7 spaces. We have a total of 14 spaces depicted on the plans. We actually have another version that I was actually at the office working on, trying to complete it for tonight, but didn't quite get there, where we met with the abutter and we agreed to slide this building so that it's about 6 feet off the corner of his existing building. And we've also reworked the entrance a little bit to provide a little bit of landscaping, to maintain, I should say, the landscaping that's between the existing building and the proposed building, proposed driveway. The driveway would be proposed to access right near the intersection, if you will, of 117 and Route 12. This is the existing Domino's Pizza building with a little sub shop that's now going in that location here. During the development review process that we had a meeting with them today, some of the questions regarding the project were related to water and sewer. We basically stated that if the water and sewer services proved to be inadequate, that we would indeed upgrade them right to the mains. There's also a question of, and I may be crossing over stuff that Pat has already talked about, there's also been a question of whether sprinkler systems would be required, and to the extent that they would be required for that matter. If there was a full basement below this existing structure, then the sprinkler system would be a bit more extensive than if there was just a storage area that exceeded a 100 square foot area, which then could be used with a smaller fire suppression system within that particular area. So those particular issues still need to be worked out with the fire department, and that would be probably conditional upon the approval of this board for the site plan and worked out with the fire department prior to the issuance of the building permit. The proposed building is located in such a way that it does provide the view of the building from the south as you're coming into the city. That's the desire of Mr. Healy. There has been some discussion with the abutter regarding that particular item. He may and probably will make his representations known that he prefers to see the building on this point, on this location versus this location here, more to the south of the property. In our discussions that we've had today, both during our meeting that we had earlier today and also at a phone conversation later in the day with myself, I did point out that the location of this provides, in addition with this, there's an existing wall that's here on the Domino's Pizza building, which to my understanding the city is removing that within the next few weeks. That the sight line coming off down on 117 and coming from Route 12 would make it that so that anyone could see a car parked in this location here, getting ready to exit the location, and all measures could be made by either driver to avoid any type of a collision. If we picked the building up and moved it over here, what would end up happening would be the access point would be in this location here, and with existing parking that's allowed along here, the cars coming down would not be able to see any vehicles coming out of this driveway because it'd be blocked by the building. Additionally, if you're coming out, if you're familiar with this type of situation where you come out to a main road from a driveway and you have parking that's relatively close to where you're located, sometimes you need to inch out a little bit and kind of peek around the car to be able to egress out onto the roadway. This location here would in fact eliminate that issue because there's currently no parking allowed along this whole stretch of roadway here. There'd be a clear view from a traffic perspective of this intersection or this driveway access from drivers both on Route 12 and on 117, so that all parties in this location will be able to negotiate maneuvering in and out of this access driveway. And I think that's very important to discuss that issue. With respect to drainage, we've allowed for or provided 3 leaching catch basins on the property. The DPW has requested that we do, similar to other projects we've done in the city, that we do some test pits during the construction to basically to provide information regarding the existing soil characteristics in that particular area. Most of the area of downtown Leominster is a sandier soil, so we're not anticipating any issues with that, but that does need to be verified and will be verified during the construction of the site. As usual, I try to hit on the 3 major issues of sewer, water, and drainage, and I believe I've touched on all those. The parking is more than adequate for the property, provides more than double the parking that would be required, so I think that that's an asset as well. And I believe Mr. Slattery has also touched on some issues regarding the building facade and location, but I'll let him speak to that if there are any issues regarding that.
Well, they already did that.
Okay, cover that. What is the required site distance for that driveway, and what do you have? Do you project it mile per hour, probably 20?
Well, considering the fact that the people
that's
coming...
a yield.
Yeah, it is a yield, and considering the fact that that people typically do come to a rolling stop at yields more than a stop, I think that has to be taken into account, and I still believe that the speed would be at 20 or less, but along Route 12 in that particular area, I would say it's more like a 30 or 35, and the sight distance is much better at this location than it would be at this location, particularly with regards to the amount of parking or any parking space that would be allowed looking south out of that driveway entrance. And I think that's the real issue that has to be reviewed.
For 35, what is the site distance requirement?
I'd have to actually calc that out, but I'm very confident that
around 200 feet, isn't it?
Pardon me?
It's around 200, isn't it?
It's probably a little more, but it might be. It depends upon the grade of the roadway, because you are coming up a little bit of a grade.
Okay.
So you might, the site distance might be less than just a level 30 range, but it's in the area of 200 feet. Yeah, I would think so. But
what do you project? What do we have on that? Do you have any idea?
I don't have the number. I don't have a number to give you without reviewing it. No.
Okay.
But I would anticipate it would be greater than 200.
Bill, no disrespect to your comments about the yield sign and everything else there, and that being the better place for the driveway. One of my big issues there is the cut down that you take from 117 if you want to take a left onto Route 12, and you have a nightmare there as it is. So I can't see, from the corner of Garapi Furniture, if I'm looking at that building, I've already got an obstruction right in my way at that driveway, looking dead from that area, with the traffic coming down from 117 taking a left onto 12 South. Now we're gonna put a driveway on that side.
I'm sorry, could you explain that again?
You know the little cut road when you come out of Dunkin' Donuts?
Right.
And it's the little cut that backs up halfway past the street that goes past Dunkin' Donuts down Route 117, if you were to take a left onto Route 12?
Correct.
That that distance there, with that driveway where it is, my problem is if I'm on the corner of where Garapi Furniture is, or I'm coming down Route 12 heading into Leominster, downtown Leominster, I'm already blocked, my site is blocked already by that cut road, which
Right,
is
this
always,
cut road here?
right here,
This
Right.
is the island right here.
the island, correct, right.
The site,
So, all
the
right,
sight
so
line-
come down from Dunkin' Donuts, take a left onto Route 12.
Right in here.
Yeah, now take a left onto Route 12, right? Bang. You get 2 lanes of traffic on one side, you got that left-hand turn for the other side, feeding just the regular traffic too, right? And I'm wondering about the driveway. I'm saying the driveway there is just one more thing that's, I mean, we're not talking a big distance, we're talking 100 feet tops between those 2 points.
Between here and here?
It's not a long walk, you know? It's not a long
No,
walk.
and that's one of the reasons why the site distance may actually be figured on a lower mile per hour, because of the fact that if you're coming up the road and someone cuts in front of you, obviously you're going to be stopping or slowing
But
down.
part of my thing too is pushing the building back a little bit, you know? To say, can we push the building back a little bit, which will give us a better sight distance?
The building?
The building, yeah.
I don't understand how pushing the building back, which is on the other side of the driveway, would affect the sight distance coming from the south.
Because the people would be coming out of the driveway cleaner, because the driveway would extend to the street, the building would be sitting back a little bit, and it would make it cleaner, in my opinion.
If I'm looking south, there's no driveway, there's no building obstruction on the south side of the driveway.
No, but there is obstruction through the rest of town. There's a lot of traffic issues at that spot.
Agreed. I don't disagree with you.
I'm wondering, you know, if the building's turned, if it's configured a little differently, do we gain sight? Do we gain a better traffic flow? Do we gain, what do we
I don't think
gain?
the location of the building really has anything to do with the location of the driveway with respect to sight distance up and down Route 12.
I'm asking that question.
Yeah, I don't believe it does, because of the fact that you have to take this line here, and this is the extension of Route 12 as you go down, as is this curved line here. So Route 12 is actually coming in this location. You're looking right at the driveway.
Yeah, but let's say this car's coming down right where you are now.
If
that
there's
are
a
in the
car
alley.
coming down there, you're going to be stopped at this location. You're either going to...
Sometimes.
This person's either going to stop so you can go by, or you're
And
going to stop
I'm
and
just-
let that car go by.
Right, so you could have a conflict there, but seriously, let's just look. I'm just wondering on the configurations. I know you have a different plan that addresses some of these driveway things. I'm just saying, you got a problem there, you got another problem with what's coming out of Dunkin' Donuts, you got another problem. I'd love to see a building like that downtown. I think it'd be a beautiful addition. I just want to make sure it's done right.
Oh, I
You know?
agree. And I think the problems you're talking about are more problems with this, existing problems with this intersection.
Right, and I
Matter of
just
fact,
want to see
we
if
had-
there's a way we can help alleviate some of that with the
Well-
design of this.
With the design of this, I'm not really sure if we can get into it, but, I mean, the easiest solution to, or not so much
Get rid of
but
that.
the easiest way to mitigate some of the traffic issues you're speaking of would be to eliminate this particular section and turn all the traffic to make it a 90-degree intersection with Route 12, like you would normally have. If we were to design a roadway intersection between Route 117 and Route 12, we would not design it this way right now.
Right.
You would force it to be
That's right.
a 90-degree intersection,
Right.
and you would eliminate this section of, you'd extend this curbing to here, you'd extend this driveway out, you'd have the driveway for Domino's come into, I'm sorry, for Dunkin' Donuts come into this section, and you'd have the roadway just curl around. You would actually grass this whole area. I'm not sure if that's,
That,
If
that,
this
I
is
think that's
causing
outside
that
of what we
problem-
can do.
Yeah,
here.
that's, we
Right, you know
can't
what I'm
help that. I'm
I
just
mean-
wondering if we can do something with this that's gonna help what's going on there.
I don't-
Because it could be there for a long time to come.
yeah, I guess.
That's all.
I understand what you're saying, but I fail to see where someone coming up Route 12, where they're looking directly at this driveway here as they're driving up the road. If someone comes out onto Route 12 from 117, they either blew through a stop sign, or this person stopped and let them go.
I'm talking, what if I'm coming out of Union Street, which I try to come out of Union Street
But
all the
Union
time.
Street's way down here.
It's not
I mean,
way down there.
I'll-
It's
I'll-
like right around the corner. It's a
Okay.
block away.
I agree. It's
Okay.
a block away.
It's a block away.
It's a
That's
block
like-
away.
Come on.
Okay, we could,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
think we can go around and around on this.
let's open this up
Tony.
to the
I
public.
think there's some, seems like there's a number of concerns here. I'm not sure, I think we have to know exactly what the site distances are
Sure, that's-
against the flow rates, both coming down Route 12 and down 117. I'm not sure whether we want to have an independent traffic engineer take a look at that. Okay, that may be a recommendation. And then we have another set of eyes to just take a quick look at it. Just to say, I'm not, like I said, we're just trying to be cautious because we know that if we know there's an existing problem, we don't want to exacerbate it more than we have. But if we can address it at this point, then we can. So I think that's what I'm trying to do is that we get all the information in so we can make a good judgment. At this point, there seems to be some conflict on the right turns, the left turns, the actual site distances, and I think we have to find that out.
Okay, well, what we could do is we could provide a traffic review from Aben's Associates, who we use for our traffic work, and I know that the city's familiar with them.
Right.
Of this particular area.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Okay.
Okay?
I'd love to see it on that whole thing.
And especially where the building is going to move slightly, as you just mentioned to us.
Does that
it's
change
gonna be
the angle on the
convenient
building, Bill?
This is, I brought this over, excuse me, I brought this over just to demonstrate. As you can see, it's moving about 4 feet in this area, and that's to provide a distance of 6 feet between this corner of the building, of the existing building, and our proposed building. And the purpose of that is sometimes if you have a real narrow space that's a foot or 18 inches, it becomes more of a trash location where trash gets stuck and then you can't get in there to clean it. Whereas if it's a little wider, what ends up happening is you're allowed to landscape in that area and provide some greenery, which then can be maintained. We thought about the possibility of actually providing a connection between the two buildings, which is done very often in cityscape. But the problem with that is that there's two different types of construction going on, and what do you mesh with what? So we felt the best thing to do would be to provide a greater separation between the distances, between the buildings, which would allow the landscaping to maintain a buffer between the two and not become a nuisance area.
Okay, fine.
So the building location has not changed significantly.
Okay. Good. Have you got anything else to add, Mr. Hannigan?
I do not.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to open it up to anyone in the audience that has anything to say.
Good evening. For the record, my name is Joe Tossi, and I'm the abutter on the south side, my south side of the building. It's 38 Central Street that I own. And I'm concerned about, and I met with Mr. Hannigan, Mr. Healy today, and discussed the entrance. And I'm not 100% convinced. We talked about, and I had actually called Bill back tonight to talk more about the driveway entrance. I'm concerned that the way his entrance for his building is the entrance where you enter the building, whether it's from the front or the back, is in such close proximity to my parking lot that what's going to happen is they're going to use my parking lot to go to his building. And I see it as a pressure on me that because his parking lot is going to, his entrance to his parking lot is going to be such that you'll have to, if you're coming up, if you're traveling north on 12, you're going to have to cross the Route 17 traffic to get into his driveway. And going the other way, whether if there's a truck parked there, it's going to be hard for both of us to exit driveways, whether it's his driveway or mine. So I'm a little concerned about the parking there, and because we always get tractor trailers parked there. Domino's atrociously parks tractor trailers there. And they're gonna be there for a long time. So my big concern is access to his driveway in such a respect that it's gonna put pressure on my parking lot. And I'm not an engineer, I can't tell you how far the sight distance is and all that and how fast traffic goes. That's not my issue. My big issue is that situation. Because his entrance to his building, his pedestrian entrance, there's one in the front and one in the back. I think if he had an entrance on his driveway side, it would help alleviate, because people are lazy. They're gonna walk the shortest distance to get to a building. I have people now, because Monty's, you can't get to their parking lot, you can't get in my parking lot Friday night. So I end up kicking people out, and I'm not making any friends at all. You know, people are mad at me, they're not ever coming to my store because I kicked them out of my parking lot. So the pressure was on me all the time. And I made my driveway such that it was extremely easy to flow in and out. There's plenty of room, plenty of sight. And I created 25 parking places. So that's my story. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tossi. Is there anyone else that has any comments or questions? Okay. Doesn't seem like we do. There are a number of concerns that we have with the abutter, with the site distances that we have at that point. And as your suggestion, I'll accept your suggestion that you get Mr. Abend from Abend Associates to take a look at this and the site distances. Question I have is the primary entrance to this building, is that in the rear? Or are you going to have both?
I would say that 95% of the traffic will be going through the rear. 95% of the traffic in this building will be real estate agents that work for me.
Mm-hmm.
They will be entering and parking in the back of the building. On the occasion that we have customers, we intend to have signage that would point to the parking in the rear. But there is, I believe, parking on the street that is possible that someone will use our front entrance. I think it will be very similar to the Enterprise Bank building where they have a main front entrance, but I think 95% of their traffic comes through the back door as well.
Okay. Let us, we'll take that all into consideration. Why don't we take and, I don't have, seeing as you went to the board this morning, I did not get any inputs. I did get some inputs from the fire department concerning the closeness of the buildings. You've addressed that. You've showed me a drawing that you're working on to address that and several other issues. I think it'd be in order that we continue this hearing until our next meeting. And do you think Mr. Abend will have a chance to look at that in that time? Your guess is as good as mine.
Pretty much, that's, I'd have to give him a call and ask him if he could take a look at this.
Okay. What kind of time frame would you think it would take for somebody to do a traffic analysis of that?
Well, this would be more of a review of the traffic patterns more than
Right.
it would be a full analysis. So I don't think that it would be that big of a deal. I'm fairly confident that I can encourage Mr. Abend to have his report ready prior to this meeting.
Okay. Why don't we do that, and that way we'll have also the inputs from the design review board, development review board rather, and the fire department that we've looked at, and we can get those issues taken care of by our next meeting, and maybe you can work out something better with Mr. Tossi and come up with an agreement there. I tried, just make a suggestion, that's all I'm making at that point. Okay? A motion will be in order to continue this hearing until June 15th. What time do we have? 7:15. 7:15.
So moved.
Motion in order, motion and second to June 15th at 7:15. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
7:30. I make a motion to go to a 7:30 hearing.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. A 7:30 hearing. This is continued public information meeting, Manchester Street Builders, LLC, 26 Pratt's Junction, Sterling, Mass. Site plan to build 8-unit building on 2-unit building lot on 3 lots to create 1 10-unit condo association on Manchester Street. Do I have a representative here from that? I'll ask one more time. Do I have a representative from the Manchester Street Builders? Okay, is there anyone here wishing to speak in opposition to this? Yes, sir.
Joe Corliss, 32 Manchester Street. I was at the last meeting on the issues that were involved. I don't know if any of you members have been by the area. The contractor has done nothing but worsen the area. And that's probably why he didn't come to the meeting tonight. He's digging more, I would say, for a foundation, which you had told me he can landscape or do whatever he wants to do. And that's funny looking landscaping. He hasn't put up any hay bales, silt fencing, which he should have done. I believe you did ask him at the last meeting to do that. His engineer said they were going to do it or had already done it, and as I explained to you, none of it's been done. I would ask this board to put a cease and desist order on any more construction on that site. Further recommendation from the Conservation Commission, I see the chairman is here tonight, have him go up and look at the situation. Nothing but loam and mud washing into the pond, well, the drain that goes under the road. The road hasn't been fixed. There's trucks running up and down the road. They could care less who's around. And I'm not sure whether there's, on the first building that was put up, if there was an occupancy permit issued.
The first building was strictly through the building department, so it didn't come through here, so I don't know,
Okay,
sir.
so I did notice that one building was occupied. I didn't know if they hadn't got it yet.
That is Residence B, which is allowed multifamily, so.
I don't have a problem with that.
Right, no, I'm just saying, just stating the fact, so it looks like that first building does meet ordinances, okay, and the requirements on that first building. The second building, we told him he had a problem with his driveway, because you're not allowed to back out of a driveway that's that long if you have multi-units. And he hadn't supplied sufficient area to turn around. And so we also told him that at the last meeting on the second building that was built, which also was just done on a special permit. It was done on a building permit. So that also never came to us, but he also did not follow the rules and regulations.
Right.
The third part, he tried to include these total acreage of the first 2 buildings and to get acreage required for the other 8 that he wants to do, and that's not allowed. So the most he can get, because the first buildings were already separate and distinct buildings, and he had gotten building permits on those, the best he can do would be get another 5, not the 10 that he's looking for.
Can't get 5.
But I don't think he can get 5. It's probably closer to 4. So
I think he's probably talking maybe 3.
well, maybe even 3. Yeah,
Three,
I
if
think
that.
because he has an option on a piece
The
of land.
density is a big problem.
Whether he can get the option on that other piece of land and things like that. But so at this time, he hasn't showed up. I have been out to the site. I do agree with you. It's gotten worse, and
3.
I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't know
He's
whether
not
you
here to
can
defend
order
himself.
a cease and desist on any more construction until the situation is straightened out. I don't know if you have that authority or not, or if the Conservation Commission does.
We can make a request to the building inspector. He is the enforcement officer.
I would appreciate that. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Corliss. Do I have anyone else wishes to speak on this matter? Okay, any planning board members have any discussion?
I'd like to show you this. We have a little read and a little understood zoning ordinance.
Okay.
It says whenever an apartment building abuts a single-family dwelling lot, requires a 30-foot buffer zone, and to go to the added density of 8 units per acre, for special permit would require 50-foot buffer zone. So I sketched that out in color, and that's what's left in white.
Not much.
I don't think you could do any.
The white strip is probably leaves about enough room for a driveway and a small house.
It's only about 30 feet. 30 to 35 feet, okay.
It's on page 24 of the revised zoning ordinance, if anybody wants to look at it.
Okay. Thank you, Armin. I can always count on Armin
Let
to...
Mary look at that.
That's what 30 years of experience does for you. Excellent. Sal, do you want to see this from Mary?
No, I already saw it.
You already saw it? Okay, good. Okay, what's the wish? We wish to close this hearing? Well, I can ask one more time. Do I have anyone else? Oh, I didn't see him, sorry. Sorry, I didn't see you getting up over there.
That's all right. Mark LaFave, 120 Colburn Street. We went over a lot of these issues on the last meeting, and as one of the members of the board pointed out, if he does go for a special permit for the additional density, he would need the 50-foot strip as opposed to the 30-foot strip now, and I did the same thing he did as far as offsets and so forth, and he wouldn't be able to get additional buildings in there. So currently, under the lots that he has and calculations, he could get 4 coming for site plan approval, but he could do that anyways by right, so I don't know why we're here, really. And there's other issues as far as parking and so forth as we went over, and I don't need to take the board's time, but I would just like to reaffirm the gentleman's comments as far as it being a mess. I live right there, I look over it every day. Looks more like a borrow pit than landscaping and so forth. So I too would like to see this stopped and close the meeting and move on.
Thank you very much, Mr. LaFave. Do I have anyone else who wishes to speak? Having none, I sense that the board is, do you have any comments, Mr. Ciccone?
No, all set.
Enough said. Okay. I think a motion is in order to close this hearing. Motion made and seconded to close the hearing. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. Okay. I'm at the point where I'm going to have to gather that my other member is not going to show. She is a young mother. She has a 2-year-old, I believe, a year and a half, someplace like that. So you never know what happens with young children like that. It's indeed fortunate, and please accept my apology. Please, I'm serious about this. We are in transition. Nancy Doig, who is, I understood this was going to be her last meeting because she's retiring. She's done a fantastic job for us for years. I'm going to try to cajole her to stay on for one more meeting, and it just happens that she is ill. She's been ill all week, and I'm sorry for that, but there's nothing we could do about it. So at this time, I'm going to ask the board to reschedule the hearings that we had for this evening to our next meeting, and could you please give me the times, and we reschedule those. These will have to be advertised, but we should be able to get those in the paper.
If they have to be advertised, should we go to the July meeting? 'Cause
No, we should be able to get it in, you know, it doesn't require the long lead advertising, just a notification.
Okay, we'll start.
It's more of a courtesy.
We're starting at 7:30 then.
Okay.
Okay.
So our 6:30 hearing, which is a public hearing for Joseph Gentili, Campobianco, and Gentili, PC on behalf of 10 registered voters, amend Article 1 entitled General Regulations, Section 22-4 of the zoning ordinances by deleting the definition of the term mixed-use development project, MUPD, and replacing it with a new definition. Amend Article 2 entitled Use Regulations, Industrial Districts, by deleting Section 24.2.5.1 in its entirety, and renumbering the Section 22.2.5.2 as a new Section 24.2.5.1. Amend Article 2, Section 22-23.4, entitled Commercial Districts, by deleting it in its entirety. Also amend Sections 22-26, Table of Uses, Mixed-Use Development Project, by deleting the words on sites over 20 acres. Motion would be to move this hearing to 7:30 on June.
Can we make
Sure.
a suggestion, seeing this will be the longest hearing? Can we, if we have another hearing or two we have to reschedule, could we put this one at the end?
Sure.
That would be my recommendation.
Okay.
What would be the last time we can do it? We have two others to reschedule?
Right.
Yeah, we're gonna have two to reschedule.
So, let's, if it's 7:30, then we'll push it to 8, right? Every 15?
Yep.
Let's push it to 8.
8 o'clock.
Everything else will be done, Mary. Hopefully.
Okay, this will be scheduled for 8 o'clock on the 17th, correct?
15th.
No, the 15th.
Yes.
I'm sorry, folks. I'm really sorry. Yes, Mr. Marchand.
If I may, Mr. Chairman. We hope that your members are not ill. That's one thing, so we certainly accept that. That's unfortunate. The concern I have is in reference to the timeline for the City Council, and I speak to you on behalf of the Legal Affairs Committee. I'm just wondering what your window is as far as your timeline for a recommendation back to us. We have both of those petitions before us for the 14th for action, and I'm not sure if you run it on the 15th, we may not see it again for a couple more weeks. And I'm just concerned about the timeline, so if maybe you can just respond to that, if we're okay.
Yeah, we're okay because our hearing is open, it's continued. I'm sorry I can't speak to the City Council, but you should be able to continue yours because you haven't gotten our input, which is required. I cannot, because I do not have a quorum, I have no choice.
Right.
I can't open the meeting. State regulations.
Right.
Okay?
If I may, if
Yes.
there's a possibility that, I'll check with the city clerk on our action steps
Okay.
tomorrow morning. Would the board consider potentially having a special meeting before the 14th to consider if in fact we're running tight on the timelines?
I would consider it. I'm not sure if we can get proper notification out to people. That's my problem.
If it's a continuation of a hearing, I know from the Legal Affairs Chair, and I'm not sure if your rules are different than what we follow, it's just a continuation.
Mm-hmm.
There's no publication, there's no public notice. We extend the courtesy to the general audience through the access television, and then also in the minutes of the meeting under new business. So we do the best we can to get it out without having to go through the expenses and also that process.
Right.
So you made comment about how you would even advertise this. That's a great courtesy to extend to the community. But if in fact we can move this along quicker so we can come up with a resolution one way or the other on the 14th, if there was a special meeting that was, that took place, that might resolve it.
No, of June.
Before June 14th, I'm sorry. So I just ask you respectfully to leave that window of opportunity open. If in fact we find out tomorrow that our window is closing tightly and we have to act by the 14th, or it's a moot point on either one of these petitions.
Yes, Mr. Levy just made a suggestion. We have done this in the past. and I would have to talk to the presidents of the city council, but we have had joint meetings in the past between the planning board and the city council when a situation like this came up,
Okay,
okay? But I would have to,
sure,
I would have to talk to Mr. Lanciani before I could do anything like that,
okay,
and, you know, because that impacts his meeting.
okay.
What I'll do is, and I appreciate the situation you're in also,
Right.
and I think Mr. Olivier made an excellent suggestion. What we'll do is, I will contact him tomorrow if that's possible, and then this and the following motion would then, we would hold it in conjunction with the city council as a joint meeting on the 14th.
Thank you for that,
14th, is
Chris.
that correct?
Thank
Yeah.
you very much. We actually, I believe we have a special meeting on the 7th, on the 7th of June. And that's a continuation of the hearing with the registered voters. It's a 2-hour, basically it'll be a 2-hour continuation. So it is taking place on June 7th. I believe the time, I want to say it's 7:30, Counselor? I believe it's around 7 o'clock?
Yeah, see,
That's already scheduled.
I have a problem. I haven't had a chance to talk to my other members.
Right.
Even if they're available on that date, I can schedule, and I can be in the same boat that I'm in tonight. I just don't know.
It's unfortunate, and again, just to record, we hope everyone's all okay, physically, and, you know, family-wise and everything. The position we're in, obviously, is we're waiting back respectfully for your recommendation, so the opponents or proponents of the different legislative acts can speak, you know, and convey that next extension of information to us.
Right.
So we are scheduled for the 7th. We have to go through with that, just to let you know.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I think the best I can do at this time is try to talk to Mr. Lanciani and see what the best we can do, and then try to let the people know the best we can.
Okay.
Now, you see, this is, excuse me, are both hearings scheduled for the 7th?
I believe the one on 10 registered voters is the one that evening. I'm not sure on the 3-acre piece yet. I'd have to double check. I didn't check that before coming down. I just expected it was going to take place.
Yeah, so did I.
So I apologize. I don't have that in my head.
Okay.
I'm not sure if, you know, that's a matter before us that evening or not. I know we do have the city solicitor coming down. Let's see, Judy Keller, I believe. We did invite, for the record, we did invite one of the consultants who was hired by the city when the rezone took place. I believe he is out of state that evening, so he will not be able to attend the last notification to Ann Meehan, the city clerk. But it would be, you know, if a joint meeting is agreeable upon you and the president, that might really be able to put some, sink some teeth into the issue so we can come up with a thoughtful recommendation on the 14th, being considerate of the timeline piece.
I'll poll the members that are here, and then, what do you think, Mr. Ciccone?
I'm required to come to the 7th meeting anyway, Rick, so I'll be there.
Ms. Olivier? Mr. Millette?
Schedule it if they want, yes.
Okay. With polling the members that I have here, and I will contact the other members tomorrow, why don't we do it then? We'll try it in conjunction with you on the 7th.
Thank you.
Okay, the 7th at what time?
There's some things happening that evening. There are a couple of hearings before and also some subcommittee work, so I'll have to check with the clerk. I believe it's around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, in fact, I believe it's 7:30.
Counselor, can we get
Almost positive.
Can we also get a schedule of the meeting, for the meeting?
Agenda?
An agenda.
The agenda.
So we have it as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, if we can put, well, the hearing would start at 7:30, so we can't start any sooner than that. But out of courtesy, it's up front, so we can work it very quickly.
Okay.
You know, there is a game plan that evening for 2 hours. We do have the city solicitor coming down to shed some light. So I think we can have some thoughtful discussion on the whole process itself.
Okay.
And so, again, with your permission and Council Lanciani, we'd like to see it happen. If it's possible, just move the thing along.
Yeah, right here, the members are for it, so, we want to move this forward, so, and not hold up any people, so, whichever works the best for the majority of people is the way I want to go.
Okay, thank you very much.
And, yeah, the suggestion, tie that in is fine.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, but this is,
Is this a point of clarification? When you scheduled this meeting, the June 1st meeting at the planning board, I was present during that meeting on another matter, and at that time, I think you considered having a joint meeting with the city council. And then you said, and when we came in and asked at the planning board, they said the city council didn't want to have a joint meeting, which is why. So,
yeah.
I just want to know, are we likely to have a?
There was some reaction, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
We've been through this once, and I'm just trying to find out.
Yeah,
whether
you're right.
It's possible.
At that time, I'm not sure what the reaction was at that time. I wasn't part of those discussions, so I will be part of the discussions this time, so I don't know.
So should we call? Will it be in the paper? What's the best?
We'll try to, I'm sure the newspaper will cover it for us, okay, and we'll get it on Access Television also.
And if you could just, at some point, address the status of hiring a planning board director for everybody here, because there hasn't been anything in the paper, and everyone's just curious if you can find the time to address
Mr. Chairman, I have a suggestion. I've already seen this hearing once on television. And why should we have to sit here and hear the same thing all over again? Why don't we just play the tape back for all the members of the hearing that was held before the city council, and then we would have all that same information.
I think there's some...
Sounds like we're having a repetition here.
Yeah. I don't think we can do that, and I think there may be someone new that wanted to speak that did not speak at that meeting, and they would have to have the opportunity to speak. And our meeting, if it was planned to do it that way, but to do it halfway through, I think we'd be in violation of the laws.
I think your chances of getting a joint hearing are not good, because
well,
we haven't. This hearing was advertised, and not as a joint hearing. And
all I can do is request.
1 week away, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, we
Okay.
can try. So
We can ask the question, but when you have irregularities in procedures, your decision could mean nothing.
I don't disagree with you, but I'm trying to, if we can work it out. Right now, the meeting is scheduled for the 15th. If we can make, that's the vote we have to take.
Right.
Okay? If I can work it out, and it's agreed to move it to the 7th, then that will be part of the motion. Okay, if there's an agreement with the city council, okay, then we'll move it to a 7th. We will also check to make sure there is whether there's a problem with the city council continuing their
Make
hearing.
sure there would be nothing in the procedure that could nullify the decision.
That is correct. That's what I want to check with before I make my decision. So the motion would be to continue the meeting until June 15th at 8 o'clock with the recommendation that we have a joint hearing with the city council on June 7th at 7 o'clock if possible.
Instead.
Instead,
Right.
okay?
If possible.
And that's if the legalities are okay.
Yep.
So that would be the motion.
So moved.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. On 6:45 hearing for the continued public hearing for Richard Marchand on behalf of 10 registered voters. Amend Chapter 22 of the revised ordinances entitled zoning by amending Article 6, Section 22-41.5.4, water supply protection use regulations. Article 2, dimensional regulations. Section 22.27.4 and Section 22.27.8, general requirements. I think the motion, this motion would be the same as the previous motion. They have the joint.
Councilor Marchand.
Councilor Marchand, are you here?
Question on behalf of the other 10 registered voters with the other petition, which is up for a public hearing tonight to amend Chapter 22 Is that the same situation as the previous one with the legal affairs chair?
Timing?
This one's dated February 17th, so I'm not sure what that looks like. I don't believe so.
This one
I don't
could go
believe
on
it's
longer,
scheduled
though?
for the 7th. I think this is, that we can work with this 14th.
Okay.
Right. But I mean, it's not anything, we could actually deal with this, I believe, in the next meeting. If you had the next scheduled meeting.
Okay, so you don't have the
We're not working
conflict on this
the
one?
7th.
Move to continue this in the normal
Okay.
pattern.
Okay?
Okay.
Motion would be to continue this one to June 15th. What time? 8:15.
8:15 on that one.
No, 7:30.
Okay, yep. Yep.
At 7:30. Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. And the last one was 7:15, public hearing for J. Whitney Development, 50 Old Mill Road, Leominster, definitive subdivision plan on a 9-lot subdivision, Mainville Farms, located off Willard Street.
6:15, move for public hearing, 6:15 at 7:45. I mean, on 6:15 at 7:45.
I'll second that with a comment. I've read the development impact statement for this project, and we had asked them to consider the site distance, SIGHT, visibility. It was not considered in the development impact statement.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, I just would like Mr. Taylor to remind them
Okay, fine.
to cover that.
We can cover that after. Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. I think we've covered everything, haven't we? Yeah. Okay, plan old business. Okay, 4.0. Manchester Street Builders, site plan to build 8-unit buildings on a 2-unit and 2-unit building on 3 lots to create one 10-unit condo association on Manchester Street. Do we have any discussion on this? We closed the hearing. We have a majority. We can vote on this.
Motion to deny.
Motion made and seconded to deny this petition. Harmon?
I voted.
All in favor
Deny.
say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries. Motion is denied.
With authority.
I would like to direct I think a motion is in order, that a letter be sent to the building inspector requesting that a cease and desist order be submitted and that he be noted that this project has been denied.
I'll move on that.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries.
We know, we drive by it every day, too.
4.2, Richard Martian on behalf of 10 registered voters. I don't have to read the whole thing. This has been continued to June 15th. 5.0, new business. 5.1, Joseph Gentili, Campobianco, and Gentili, PC, on behalf of 10 registered voters. I don't have to read the whole thing. This may be continued to June 7th with a possible.
Well, it has been continued.
It has been continued to the 15th with a possible arrangement to have a joint meeting with the city council. Okay? 5.2, Richard Healy, Foster Healy Real Estate, 300 Main Street, Fitchburg, site plan for new construction on 50 Central Street, Leominster. This has been continued to our next meeting on June 15th with a traffic review from Mr. Abens. All in favor of this continuation, say aye. Aye. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. 5.3, J. Whitney Development, 50 Old Mill Road, Leominster Definitive Subdivision Plan, a 9-lot subdivision, Mainville Farms, located off Willard Street. This hearing has been rescheduled for June 15th at 7:45. It's not continued, it's been rescheduled. All in favor say aye. Opposed say no. Motion carries. I think that's it. Any further discussion? I think that motion is in order.
Sal, do your part.
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Motion carries.
Motion by
Motion
Sal.
to resign.
Aren't you on the